Hello, good evening. Welcome to the channel. This video is about today's virtual press conference that Sean Fraser, Immigration Minister of Canada, held this morning, and also took some questions from the media. What it's such a breath of fresh air. Finally, an immigration minister who is talking to people. I thought this was never going to happen, but at least we have somebody here. Thankfully, Sean Fraser is now coming and talking to people. So that's one tick mark to them. Okay, so that's first thing that I will say. Okay, is a good thing that is happening. Let's talk about what this press conference was all about. It was named the Modernizing Canada's Immigration System to Support Economic Recovery and Improve Client Experience. Well, the main agenda, or rather the main topics that were discussed in this particular press conference or in this media release was more to do with digitization, more to do with backlogs, or rather some brief about backlogs, and about how they are looking to improve client experience. Did they talk about express entry draws? Yes. Was there any concrete answer or something that we can look forward to? No. So what are we talking about? Well, let's break it down. Let's go through it one step at a time. So first, they spoke about the permanent residence applications, and first he basically made a statement which was for about 20 some minutes, in which he gave a brief background on what this whole thing is about. It has been a pandemic that has been the cause of all evil, and that they are looking to clear the backlogs as soon as possible. So this was the whole gist of the 20 minutes of statement that he made. Firstly, permanent residence applications. The biggest thing he spoke about was that they are looking to clear 147,000, he said applications, but I think it is supposed to be people, considering what the capacity of IRCC has been in clearing out a lot of applications. Sean Fraser said that they are looking to clear 147,000 files or people or applications in the first quarter of this year. So basically 2 more months from now, they would have cleared 147, which is double than what they did in the year 2021 for the same period, for the first quarter. So something positive there, definitely. He also said that in the year 2021, they actually made decisions on 500,000 permanent residence applications, which is pretty decent. Then they are looking to introduce a tracker or a tracking tool for spousal sponsorship applications under the family class, so that people who are obviously waiting for such a long time, 1 year, 2 years kind of a thing, they have a better insight as to what is going on with their applications. So this tracker apparently is going to be released effective from February 2022. He didn't mention the date, so I'm assuming at some point of time in the month of February, we will be talking about it. I just hope it's not another one of those gimmick that they had for express entry applications. I'm sure you remember that, right? The 6-month timeline that you had, everybody thought that this was their application processing timeline, but actually it wasn't. So I hope this time it's just not a gimmick, and it is actually something more worthwhile that people can look forward to. Apart from that, there is a lot of talk about the backlogs being cleared, and they need to clear the backlogs, and 147,000 people, and the fact that they want to get the whole processing times in control as to the pre-pandemic levels within this year of 2022. They're expecting to get all the processing timings, whether it is for the permanent residence applications or the temporary residence applications, and to a large part citizenship applications. They want to get the handle on it and get it back into the pre-pandemic level. From there on, when we spoke about the temporary residence applications, again, they are looking to prioritize the study and the work permit processing, because obviously the backlog there has grown to almost 800,000 applications. And he did talk about the data analytics tool that they have been using. And one of the questions that he did get from the press was directly about Chinook. And he did accept that, yes, obviously IRCC is using artificial intelligence, data analytics, and that it does help them process the applications faster, so that it does obviously help in the whole processing times. And that at no point of time does the system reject an application, or does the system suggest that the application should be rejected, that the decision is always taken by the visa officer. However, there are a lot of concerns there, but that's for another day. It is at this point of time beneficial in terms of the processing time. So that was the aspect to do with the temporary residence application. He is definitely looking to reducing the application inventories that has grown during the pandemic, including the visitor visa application. Again, nothing specific mentioned, but by and large, the statement about the backlogs and the fact that they're looking to reduce them. Of the specifics that was given was about the citizenship applications, that they are again looking to reduce the processing times over there, and they have about 60,000 people waiting to take their oath, and they intend to clear most of them at the earliest, so that they can go forward and meet the 4-month period target. So after you have completed your decision has been made on your application, within 4 months you should be able to take your oath and then become citizens of Canada. The citizenship applications becoming free, and he said that he doesn't have the answer at this point of time, but yes, that is part of his mandate letter, and he obviously is looking forward to doing that. Again, no date given there at all. Yeah, can you believe it? That's basically it. And then we spoke about, again, backlogs on the citizenship application. And then finally, we came down to the client processing. What did we have on the client processing? Well, in terms of the client processing, they want to make it better in terms of give you more indication of how your application is processing. So for the permanent residence, family class, spousal sponsorship, you will have trackers or tracking, which will give you some indication, as I just spoke about that. He also agreed that the online processing times that the IRCC website has are not updated, and they are not showing the realistic times, and that they are looking to make sure that those timelines reflect correctly as to whatever the processing times are, so that people have a better indication of what's going on. Also, to do with client processing, or rather with the client servicing, he mentioned that in order to reduce the staff, what are they doing? So they have hired 500 staff already, additional staff, and are continuing to hire more staff. And most of these staff are going to be involved in the temporary residence applications and permanent residence applications. They will not be for the spousal sponsorship. No, sorry, they will not be with the spousal spousal sponsorship application, because spousal sponsorship application are already within their prescribed timeline of 1 year processing time. So, and I agree to that in a bit, because most of our applications that I have seen have all been processed within the 1 year timeline. So that's as far as the processing times are concerned. And yes, they are obviously looking to digitize all paper application processes, so that going forward, all the paper applications are no longer active. Rather, they all become online applications, starting with PR applications. So you can look forward to maybe some more PR portals coming through. The whole system that we see as of right now, that obviously is looking to be enhanced. I hope you can see a better, you can have better insight as to what is happening with your application. So you don't have to order GCMS notes, you don't have to call IRCC. I do not know how long that is going to take, but this probably is the gist that I can give you about the whole summary of what happened today. Did he speak about express entry draws? Yes, and I think we should hear it from the horse's mouth, starting with the federal skilled workers.
That said, we do need to do some work to clear the inventory of people who are here through economic streams now that are qualified to come through existing streams into Canada, so we can resume the activity that we're used to through the Federal Skilled Workers Program. The pause rather on federal skilled workers, I reassure you, is temporary, and we will be trying to process the existing inventory of applicants who are ready to come to Canada through other streams, so we can resume it as quickly as possible. It will take us some time, but in terms of your specific question about levels details, you'll have to wait a few weeks until we table the plan in Parliament.
And then he was probed further for the Canadian experience class.
So we're looking at options right now to figure out how to keep people here who are already working in jobs that businesses are relying on. But I need to come back to one of the points I made in response to your initial question. We know that there is a labor shortage in Canada. We intend to use immigration to help address the labor shortage in Canada. But we need to remind Canadians who are seeking to come to Canada or businesses that are looking for employees, there is no shortage of economic migrants that are in the process right now to come to Canada. Some in the across a variety of different economic streams. The federal skilled worker stream is a really excellent tool to bring people who have serious talents to Canada. We are looking at dealing with some of the folks who are in Canada now, but we haven't come up with the perfect solution quite yet. We also will be continuing to process people who are in the inventory in other economic streams. So you'll forgive me if I won't agree that there's one specific stream that will provide the only opportunity for businesses to secure access to workers. We have to look across all of our lines of business to make sure that we're maximizing the potential to get people here more quickly, and we'll continue to look for ways to target those sectors who've got the most acute labor needs to make sure that our immigration system is meeting the needs of the Canadian economy.
Question was directly asked about federal skilled worker draws, and he said same thing as he has been repeating in the last few meetings as well, or other review releases as well, that the processes continue, the processing is continuing, and until the backlogs or the inventories are reduced, they don't look at restarting the draws. But the fact that the draws, express entry draws, not federal skilled worker, not CSE, express entry draws will continue to be paused, and this is temporary. Same thing when he was probed further about the Canadian experience class draws, he also then reiterated that he was actually asked the question, what about the fact that people are running out of status, the postgraduate work permits are expiring, and people are leaving the country? And you heard the answer, and he said, well, there is just not one stream from which people or the labor shortages are fulfilled for the businesses. There are so many different streams. So the small businesses or the businesses in Canada can actually draw out people from those different streams and do not only have to rely on Canadian experience class. That hurt for sure. That really, really hurt, because I was hoping for some more compassion there, but he basically came out and said the way he wanted to sort of say it. I'm not sure how this is going to reflect in the big scheme of things, but this is what it is. There is a mandate letter. Obviously, most of you are aware about this. Backlogs, as we all know it, was the top priority mentioned in the mandate letter. And this media release that you're all seeing has to do with the same mandate letter. He is emphasizing and talking about the same thing in terms of reducing the backlogs to the pre-pandemic level. He also indicated that, when he was asked the question about are they looking to reduce the number of people under the FHS, federal high skilled categories, that is where the express entry comes from, he said he will not disclose it now, obviously, because the level plan would be announced in the Parliament by the second week of February. Whether it's going to be reduced, whether it's going to be kept the same, we don't know. And that will have a direct impact on how we progress further with the express entry draws. So to summarize, basically in what has happened this morning was that he basically spoke about backlogs. The backlogs will be cleared in 1 year, within this whole year as we move forward. Within this quarter, within the next 2 more months, you should see a lot more applications being cleared. They have recruited 500 new staff and are continuing to recruit more staff. They have infused $85 million mainly into the digitization as well as into adding additional resources, which would basically show you more applications being processed quickly. There is a serious priority on study permit applications, work permit applications, which also includes, by the way, your spouse open work permit applications, while also trying to clear the inventory for the permanent residence applications. But nothing on the federal skilled worker draws, nothing on the CEC draws. Those will remain on pause until the inventory levels have dropped down a bit. That's it. That's all. And this is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you for joining me for this very, very short video so we can, get that out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do. I'll see you next time. Good night. Stay safe. Take care.